here's another League of Legends game coming our way, this time apparently from the mid lane. I don't know what I'm going to take for my other thing, though. I think Ares probably going to be a little bit better pick. Reason for that being is I'm just going to try to wave clear. Oh great, we get Yasuo. So, do I actually want anything here? If I go for this one... I think I'm just gonna go coup de grace. So I'm gonna want Mana Flow Band, I'm gonna need Celerity here, and I'm going Gathering Storm because I'm not gonna kill Anivia unless she really screws up and there's 3 stuns that can come my way from Fog. Overall, I can say I'm glad I didn't pick Victor because it'd take a little too long to ramp up. Actually, the nice thing about Victor would be that my ult would knock the Anivia Blizzard out. So if I were Pantheon, I'd probably focus top or bot, one of the two. If he goes bot, he needs to jump on Soraka and try to blow her up. Okay, so we have to change things up a little bit. The attempt to record this live did not quite work out, so you will see the beginning and the end of game as they were live, but the game itself did not record properly. Anyway, we are doing Vel'Koz mid, and we are up against Arcticuno. So real quick over here, in case you forgot like I did when I was pulling this up, I actually was assigned top and I traded. And the good news was the Yasuo did stuff, which is like some of the highest praise you can give a Yasuo. But anyway, on this game, one of the nice things about doing this post-game is I did want to see some of the things through Fog, because I was kind of curious about Sejuani's movements. And now that I think about it real quick, let me swap these two, and there we go. But otherwise, we have a Pantheon. I was kind of on the fence about this. I did one Pantheon jungle game last year, Season 7 that is. Like, I got it to work, but it's really snowball dependent. And I guess, hey, in the current meta, that actually does work, but up to you if you want to risk it. It's possible the new runes actually make it a lot better. I'm basing this off all the old stuff, so keep that in mind. Anyway, while we wait for the lane to begin, you will get to hear how Vel'Koz works. I don't think you get to see the numbers, though. So your passive is Organic Deconstruction. You will mark the enemy when you hit them with a spell. When you apply 3 marks, then you'll deal a burst of true damage to them, and then if you use your ult within a certain time frame, the ult will deal true damage instead of magic damage. So hopefully you can see how handy this is going to be with the Sejuani on the field. Your Q is Plasma Fission. This is the geometry shot. You fire your bolt forward, deals damage, you will... Like, it'll split at 90-degree angles when it comes into contact with something, when it travels a certain distance, or when you push Q a second time. The bolts themselves have a pretty massive slow, 70% attached to them, and if you kill something with this, it will refund half the mana cost. So if you're really good with this, like I try to aim it, it's possible to get 3 kills. The contact kill that will cause the bolts to splinter, and then the bolts themselves. If you do that, I believe you actually do get 150% of your mana back, and then if you have the Duran Ring, you also get the mana back from that as well. So that's one of those really nice things about playing Vel. Like I was trying to do the 3-shotter right there. Didn't really pay attention to see if it worked though, since I'm trying to talk to you guys. W is Void Rift. You will throw out a rift on the ground. It will deal damage initially, but after like a quarter second or a half second or something like that, it will then detonate again, dealing even more damage. So yes, Yasuo gave up first blood. I know you all saw that coming. You can store 2 charges of this, and this is the wave clear move. That's what I'm going to max first. You can see it takes 17 seconds per charge at level 2, so you don't quite get 2 charges for every wave, but if you can get it to rank 3 or a little bit of CDR, you will be golden. Your E is Tectonic Disruption. You will mark an area that will detonate after, like, once again, a half or a quarter second. You can see Vel'Koz's stuff is very telegraphed, but as a result, it's very powerful. So this is a 3/4 second knockup. So yes, Yasuo can ult off of this. And then you can use this to reposition enemies, which you will see me do to Sejuani when she doesn't mind my personal space. And then finally, your ult is Lifeform Disintegration Ray. You will unleash all hell in the form of a Void Ray, and it kind of sucks to be the enemy. So this has a slow attached to everyone who gets hit by it. And once your passive procs, like I said, this goes from being magic damage to true damage. Now, anyway, for the match itself, you'll see that I'm winning right now. Once Articuno hits level 6, then she's able to just clear everything, and it's like, just doing whatever she wants is fairly easy. So right there we chunked one another. I used my last potion, she's holding on to hers. And I have teleport, oh, she does too. So, which game was that then? Because I played too many games. So right there I didn't get a lot of mana back. Actually, I might have gotten the full 100% back. So anyway, for this matchup, as I was trying to say, I have pushing pressure early, and I just want to try to deny her. It's really that simple. Now, the thing is, she could kill me if she lands her stuff and I get close, but I should not be able to kill her. And now I'm trying to use this with a little bit of emphasis that if I kill her, it's because she does something wrong. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm gonna kill her. The really bad news for her is, generally for the AP characters, by the time you pop her, or you force her into egg form, you have your stuff on cooldown. So, at that point, she's kind of safe. You have to kind of auto-attack the egg, and that's not easy to do. It takes time and everything. But if you happen to have like a laser beam that's continuously hitting the egg, it's gonna melt. Just saying. So anyway, right here I'm teleporting in. Articuno just hit 6. She's using her ult to wave clear. I did not know she was going back here when I was playing this live, but I figured it out in a moment. Basically when she walks back into lane. So on that back, I went ahead and got the Lost Chapter. I grabbed boots, grabbed a refillable, and she came in with a pink ward. I saw that. I was thinking, where did she drop that? Right now, that's what I'm looking for. And right now, since I didn't know she went back, I'm wondering, is she going top? Is she going bottom? But you can look at the minimap and you'll know the truth. So right here, I was moving to try to go after Jace. It's just I didn't know if the blast cone was up, and if you look at the minimap, yes, it was. Should also point out Jace is 2 levels over our Pantheon, and he is 1 level behind Sedge. Anyway, the Void Rift is currently rank 4, so I get 15 seconds for a charge. That means I get 2 charges per wave. Right here I end up taking quite a bit of damage, but in the grand scheme of things, it ultimately plays out to my advantage. So she's down to half mana. That's not really saying much because with the Tear and this Sapphire Crystal, Mana Flow Band is going to give her quite a bit. And right there she just screwed up. So yeah, that shouldn't happen. So what she was actually counting on was for me to not hit her with my Q. The Q, if you remember, is a 70% slope. And basically she was stuck under my tower. And then once she went into egg form, the tower still kept shooting her, but then I unleash this and she melts. And then while the current 500 damage may not look that impressive, don't forget this is proccing your passive, so there's more damage to it. Like right now she just got the health crystal, which would have helped a little while ago. But yeah, and her passive is down, it's just Pantheon is not going to do anything to take advantage of that. So eventually I will find the ward down here in the brush. It's just after Pantheon commits to a really bad play here. And right here the name of the game is just wave clear. If you notice I'm up 15 CS. Anivia will take the lead later on. I mean, much later in the game when I actually don't farm as much because I'm too busy team fighting. So, just keep that in mind. Unfortunately for her, with all the CS she gets, she fails to actually do anything with it. So right there, Yasuo is pinging for help. I don't know why, but anyway, Pantheon got a double kill. So that puts him on track to snowball. Right there, I whiffed the W horribly. And I should also point out, at this stage, my W is down to a 12.6 second cooldown on the charges. And the reason for that being is it's now rank 5, and I also have 10% CDR from the Fiendish Codex. Right there, Pantheon goes down. And right here, since the bot lane is pulling back, we'll jump over to them real fast. I don't want to go down here. There's really nothing for me to do, so what I want to do is try to punish the Anivia roam. So I want to push this into tower. Basically force her back where she misses even more CS. If you notice, the lead has grown to almost 20 CS. Yes, that's 3 full waves right now. So right there they did get my flash, but I did poke them down quite a bit. As long as the Anivia egg is down, they have to be very careful around me. If you want, actually, we can't see the exact cooldown, but remember that the icon here is going to be black and white when it is down, and it'll turn blue when it's up. That's right, I have to remember I'm the top laner. So right here she's going back, she got her catalyst, we both have boots at the moment. And you got to see what runes I was running in the pre-game thing. As for right here, I don't really have any spells to punish her for porting in. She's gonna just face tank that, that's fine. Right there, I got a passive proc on her, and yeah. And just imagine that would have been worse if not for Soraka down here using her ult. The top laner, gotta remember that. So if you want to see this, not really much to see. Then we can jump up here. So this, I'd say, was a good move on Pantheon's part, even though we lost 2 kills. He still got something done, and stalling a Jace is pretty damn big. Since he's not going to be able to hit his power spikes as quickly, he's not going to be as dangerous with his harass. What's going on with me? I don't remember this part. So right now her egg is back up. If you notice, they're taking the Wind Dragon. If not for how brutal levels 1 to 6 can be, I think Anivia would be one of the people I would look at picking up. Overall, like, I didn't set out for a box hunt, but I wanted to play guys I normally don't play, and that's kind of how things play out. So, yeah. That's kind of the theme for this week's videos. Guys who have not made an appearance for a while, and it's kind of sad Vel'Koz was there because for a while he was my number 2 mid. But anyway, looking at the CS numbers, at one point I was almost 20 up. If you notice, I'm only 8 now. Arcticuno just finished her Rod of Ages. She grabbed an Amp Tome. In terms of gold, I am only 100 over her, which sounds... actually... It means I hit more spellcasters than melee if it's only like that. I should be closer to around 150. We can look at the other lanes. Jace is up, which is a little surprising. Once again, he must have gotten more melees than Yasuo did. Pantheon is ahead of Sedge, but that's to be expected since he has 1 kill. But then again, it depends on how the assists are split up, really. That's the cat taking the microphone. So in case you didn't see that, Yasuo and I both teleported down here. And the reason for that being is we want to take the tower to try to punish them a bit. That's First Blood Tower. I'm going to go ahead and clear out this pink ward with the help of Sona. I think I completely leave it for her because I don't have zombie ward. What am I even running? Yeah, I'm not sure. So she's going to go back. If you notice, our Trist has her Zeal, her IE. Ashe has an Essence Reaver instead. As a result, if the 2 of them actually go at it, Trist is going to be significantly ahead. The Infinity Edge has more damage than the Essence Reaver does. And the other part of it is... oh, right here's the lane swap. This goes horribly wrong. So right here, the CS numbers have equalized, but that's because Triss did just come in here and take my CS. So I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go bot as soon as we fry this egg. And basically I was just hoping, hey, we can keep doing this bot lane, but no, the enemy team won't have that. They have to make things complicated. So right there I got the Haunting guys, and the reason for that being is I need to melt Sedge. If you notice, she has her Cinder Hulk, she has a Bracer. She is going to really stack health here. And it's going to backfire her on the grand scheme of things because she doesn't get any MR to answer my Leandries, and...
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
You just have to burn through her one spell at a time. And just imagine if you had a slow and a displacement spell and like one other slow, that would be very possible to do. But in case you're wondering why I never build a Rylai's on Vel'Koz, that's pretty much why. So keep in mind we killed this ward about a minute ago. They've already replaced it. So right here I wanted to push this in before they came on down. And yes, they are sending 3 people for me. So I was going to recall right there if not for the Ashe, but... sorry Ashe, I gotta kill your friend. So right there I forced the flash, I forced the Ashe ult, I almost killed Ashe in the process. Jace doesn't get anything for it. And the sad part is, while all of that is going on, remember that's 3 people bot. So the good news is Yasuo did get the top tower, it's just that's not quite going to offset what happened. In the end I was a 1-for-1 and I forced a bunch of spells, but there wasn't anything else to like go even further in terms of rewards for that. But anyway, I'm back. So I have Lucid Boots, I have the blasting one that I need to make the Liandry's, and after that I think I go... I think Death Cap. So anyway, mid tower went down, and ultimately we did lose in the trade. By the way, in case you're wondering, that's a Wind Dragon. Have to remember I'm the top laner. So right here they're taking Herald. Just going to set up an ambush until that ward popped right there, and then I realized, okay, they know where I am. And once that went off, I went, okay, I know where they are now. Now, I do not know where all of them are. I was thinking it was just Sedge and Jace who did it, so I'm wondering, where is the bot lane in all this? So right there, I'm hitting Sedge to take off her passive. And now when we get into this fight, she is susceptible. That's probably the best way to describe it. So right here, I go after Soraka. Sona finishes the job for me. I killed the dragon, which I didn't remember doing. And overall, we win that fight. And usually when Soraka's on the field, the best thing you can do is focus her. Once you take down the enemy healing, they are much, much more manageable. Anyway, back to me here. So sadly, I don't have my ult to actually pick them off for running through that narrow corridor. But what I want to do right here is just take this tower. And I didn't see if that was Ashe or who I hit. So just remember, if you're going to get in a fight with Sedge and you are a poke mage, poke her first. The reason for doing that is you want to take off her passive. It takes time for that thing to recharge. That's not my ward. Right here you get to watch Trist make her escape. And now keep in mind this is 4 of them down there. And we got to see them all because of this ward. Did they actually tell you whose this is? Trist's. But anyway, the Liandry's is now complete, so whenever I poke Sedge, the Lingering Burn is going to keep her passive off even longer. And I will go ahead and warn you guys, the only MR she gets is from her passive this game.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So right there I hit her. That knocked me out of my ult. But overall, we did force them back. They didn't really get too much for that. An outer is pretty easy to take, and this inner is still in pretty good shape, all things considered. So right here, I was wondering, can we catch them anywhere? You can see Yasuo and I get here a little too late. Yasuo really commits to this. He is going to force the J Splash. Right there, yes, I knocked Sejuani out of her Q. I think it was the Trist ult that he actually ulted off of them. So right here I need to fall back because I'm pretty badly banged up. And right here I'll lend my W to the cause. Because I'm a team player, not greedy in the slightest. So anyway, with everyone down bot, the thing I want to do now is go push in mid. That way they have to send someone either to come address this, or we're going to deal a bunch of damage to an inner tower.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
So right now, Anivia has taken the CS lead, but it's going to fluctuate a bit. In terms of gold, I'm up 500 because of the kills I've gotten. So she's chasing me. Yes, I had to flash, but I did get her ult in the end. And I got to kite her for quite a bit, and long enough for us to get an inhibitor. So keep in mind this is a 23-minute inhib. Those are extremely hard to deal with, and that's why I said Anivia is not going to teamfight. She's going to be parked there for the rest of the game. So real quick, I actually want to jump over to you. So she is maxing W. I played a Sedge game and I maxed E first because you get to increase the stun duration. I don't know what's actually best though. Anyway, Yasuo needs a bailout. Like I keep saying, poke Sedge first because then you'll disable her passive. And when you have Lucid Boots, it's not actually that hard to walk around in an Articuno wall. That will change when she actually ranks up the wall and it gets wider though, so don't forget that part. Should also mention with the Lucid Boots and the Morellos, the W is on a 10-second charge. We knew they were over here somewhere, we just didn't know where exactly. So right here I got way too close. But on the plus side, I am taking Sejuani out of the fight. So the whole gang's here. And here's where things get really ugly. So that's the second one down. We got the Baron. So yes, they did trade our blue buff for Baron. I'm not entirely sure when Articuno died, but I forgot to mention she's out of this too. She died somewhere up top, I think. So that's the middle inner that's out. Now don't forget this is a Trist we have here. So the inhibitor tower is down. And right here I'm just trying to save my teammates who decided to commit suicide for some reason. I should also mention the Sejuani passive makes her immune to slows, so you have to disable that before you can actually start slowing her with the Q. Now the good news is the Q is on a fairly short cooldown. You can see 5 seconds, so I can just keep firing that behind me as I retreat. And even if they try to sidestep it, if you're fast enough on your reflexes, you can activate it again early and hit them with the 90-degree angle shift. So anyway, Anivia is way ahead of me in terms of CS, and she's starting to catch up in terms of gold. I don't know if she actually will pass me in the end, because while she's getting that CS, I'm getting global objectives. I mean, we just got Baron, I'm getting minions, I'm getting towers. That is still adding up. Pretty much for what she's doing, it's nothing more than treading water, so to speak. And right there, I would definitely say that was worth my ult, because Water Dragon is going to make our siege really nasty. That's going to be an additional source of mana regen for me, so I can just keep lobbing stuff non-stop. Should also mention I bought an Elixir of Sorcery on that back, so I have even more mana regen. So Yasuo committed suicide, but as a result of that, we were able to get the inhibitor. Aw, man, I thought that hit her when I was actually playing. So right there we got the true damage proc off. Off again. And keep in mind, the Liandry's is burning her the entire time. That's why she's down to half health. Now, I was tempted to ult here, but he flashed, so I was kind of glad I held my trigger finger back. Right there we got Jace. Don't really know what Triss is doing up there, so you gotta trade AD carry for AD carry. And then any chip damage I get on the rest of them is much appreciated, don't you think? So the reason we didn't stick around is Baron just expired. I knew it was going to time out. I couldn't do a proper siege here, so best course of action is we want to go bottom where there's no tower to defend, and basically retake that one, and then look for global objectives like dragons, or even just do a concentrated push on the top lane. For that to work, I have to poke out the chicken, though. Should also point out she is now higher level than me, and she's still behind 400 gold. So right there I managed to hit him. He lost quite a bit of health there. Problem is I couldn't actually finish him off like I was hoping I could. So in the end I do go down, but I make them really work for it. And while all that was going down, in case you're wondering, so unlike the Urgot game where my team just screwed around while the enemy team did stuff, these guys, if they see an opening, they take the damn thing. Actually, I have to... let's just do it this way. So I have the camera locked onto me, and now the only thing left for us to take is this tower. Sadly, it's very healthy, and the way Trist goes about doing things, it's not going to get damaged too easily. So Ash Arrow answers empty. You can see that Anivia wall is almost big enough to block off the entire lane. Just 2 ranks to go in it. So right here I'm pushing bot. There isn't really anything I can do for this, so... my question is why even bother? So their blue buff just spawned. I want to go ahead and take that real quick. And then my goal is try to create some sort of distraction somewhere else where my team can leverage something. So you can see Yasuo and I are trying to clear these lanes, but this is still standing, and we don't have anyone else over there. Triss completely fell back. I end up stealing the Ashe kill. And her passive came up at the exact right time. So there's not really much I can do for him, I'm afraid. Jace did knock me to safety, so Articuno has to flash to get me. And while all that was going on, they actually lost a Nexus tower. So remember, I was aiming for this, and we actually got this instead. Now the bad news for Jace is he is getting pushed out by Trist. And I don't know if Trist actually should have stuck around for this or not. She is going for their red buff, so it is something. Because it'd be really bad if we have to deal with someone who's slowing us beyond just the whole Ashe passive. So in case you're wondering, they're going to kill this dragon like 1 second before I get up. Yasuo will make it in time, but not me. So 2, 1, Yas is up. Okay, it was about 2 seconds left on that. So in terms of gold, you can see she has finally taken the lead, but she's not actually doing anything. Like, she's seen in her base while we take literally everything else on the field. By the way, in case you're wondering about the dragon, this is another water. As for the Quicksilver Sash, that was just picked up by Trist. And if you look at my build, I have the Null Magic Mantle as well as the Fiendish Codex. I'm going for a Banshee's Veil. So I saw that ward come over the wall, that's why I turned around. I had a feeling if I walked over there, it would probably be Sejuani jumping the wall at me. So I fired my Q there as a way to scout if someone was hiding behind the wall. If there were someone, I'd see something and then I could actually, like, not go, or I could follow with my other spells, depending on who I actually hit. That type of thing. So right here, both inhibitors are down. Right here I'm trying to protect Trist. I end up taking a Sejuani ult in the back. Ashe decides to go for me, which succeeds in one sense and fails in another. And that's pretty much it. So the chicken finally bit the dust. I do get an assist off that because I was just splashing shots everywhere there. Almost thought Trist committed suicide when I saw that live. There you go, Baron empowered minions, and that's all, folks. Like, one of the downsides to actually taking the super minions, or taking the inhibitors, is it causes the super minions to go in, and then there's less CS on the field for you to take, period. And wow, I was hoping I'd actually level up off that, because I want to open some boxes. So that's an A+. There's number 2 for damage. And most of that's just Leandri's damage to Sejuani. Since she was stacking a lot of HP in order to use her HP ratios for damage, I would just burn through her. Like, she doesn't even have MR here. Terms of CS, yeah, Articuno got up to 300. And that's largely just because the waves kept pushing in. She was able to sit at the base, and she could probably take 2 lanes worth of minions. So, yeah, that's it for now. Do I want... I'll save it for a future video. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.